Hello guys. Now, in this lesson, we are going to talk about the future perfect and the future perfect continuous. In here, I am going to show you three different sentences, and we are going to talk about the differences between them. The first one, next December, I will write a book. Number two, next December, I will be writing a book. And number three, next December, I will have written a book. Can you see the difference? In the first one, next December, I will write a book. This one is future simple. It means that the action is going to start at that point. What is the point? The one over here. This part in the sentence is the part that is talking about the time. When? So next December, I will write a book. So that is the action. This action is going to start at this point. In other words, I am going to start with my book next December. The next one, number two, next December, I will be writing a book. In this one, it means that this is future simple continuous. This sentence means that the action will be happening at the point I specify. So next December, this will be happening. All right. When next December comes, I will be doing the action of what? Of writing my book. So the action will be happening at that point, will be continuing. And the last one, number three, next December, I will have written a book. This is the one we are talking in this grammar. This is future perfect. We use it to talk about an action that will be over, will be finished, in the point that we specify, or before that point. This sentence means that I started writing my book before December. Before December, before I started writing the book. And when December comes, my book will be finished. In the future perfect, I use the combination of the subject, he, alright, in this case, in the sentence, will plus have, alright, will have, and the past participle, will have done, alright. He will have done it by this evening. This is the combination, this is the structure. Will have and the past participle. If it's in negative, you say will not, or the contraction, won't. Will not have done it by this evening. In this case, this one is a yes or no question. For the question, I move the auxiliary will to the beginning. Will he have done it by this evening? The usage. We use the future perfect tense to talk about an action that will finish before a certain time in the future. For example, by 8 o'clock tomorrow, this is the time of the future, by 8 o'clock tomorrow, I will have taken off for Japan. It means that by 8 o'clock, by this time or before 8, alright, 7:30, I will have taken off for Japan. I will have started my trip to Japan. I also use it to talk about an action that will be completed before another event takes place. The other event in this case is the time clause, the part that is talking about the time. So she will have learned Chinese. This is the part with the present perfect. She will have learned Chinese And this is the time expression before she moves to China. In this case, I'm using the present perfect, and what is the time I am specifying? A time with another event before she moves to China. So the future perfect, guys, it is used to say that something will already be complete by the certain time in the future. It is often used with expressions such as these are the expressions that you will usually see when you are using or when you read about future perfect. Uh, by 5 o'clock, by 2 o'clock, by noon, by midnight, by December, by 2025, by the time you arrive, in 2 weeks' time, in 2 weeks' time, that's one in here, in 3 weeks' time, in 2 years' time, alright, can be years, can be weeks, can be months, it doesn't matter, it depends on the time we are talking about. And we also say by Friday, alright, we can say the day, we can say the year, we can say the month, or we can say the season, by summer, by winter. This is an example. By this time next month, by this time next month, I'll have done all the work. What does that mean? That the work will be finished next month at the latest. All right, my work will be finished next month or before. Another example, in 5 years' time, I'll have had 2 children. So it means that I am going to have my children in 5 years or before. All right, I'm going to have 2 children in 5 years or before. So in 5 years' time, I'll have had 2 children, not after this time. That's what this sentence is talking about. Another example, by the time we get to the cinema, the film will have started. What does that mean? That we are late. It means that when we get there, we get to the movies, the film will have started. The film is going to start before we get there. So by the time we get to the cinema, the film will have started. We talked about the future perfect. That was the future perfect simple. We also have the future perfect continuous. This one, the structure is will have, but we use been and the verb with ing. I will have been eating vegetables for 3 months. In negative, I won't or I will not have been eating vegetables for 3 months. And the question, the same as the other one, will you have been eating vegetable for 3 months? I use will at the beginning, and then I continue with the subject have been and the verb with ing. We use the future perfect continuous to talk about an action that will still be in progress in the future. The future perfect continuous focuses on the length of time, and this is the important thing of the future perfect continuous. The future perfect continuous concentrates in the time. All right, we talk about how long, for how long, that's the time. As an example, let's imagine a situation. It is 3 p.m. now. My brother went to sleep at 2 p.m., 1 hour ago. Okay, so right now he has 1 hour. If he continues sleeping until 5 p.m., alright, in the future, if he continues until 5 p.m., I can say by 5 p.m., the time expression, by 5 p.m., my brother will have been sleeping for 3 hours. This is the reason I am using the future perfect continuous because I am talking about the length of time. This is the important thing in the sentence. For how long? For 3 hours. All right. If he starts at 2 and he will finish at 5, he will have been sleeping for 3 hours by 5 p.m. Another example. I moved I moved to Santiago 2 years ago in 2018. By 2023, by 2023, I will have been living in Santiago for 5 years. Again, I am specifying the length of time. By 2023, the time of the future in here, by 2023, I will have been living in Santiago for 5 years. Will have been and the verb with ing, living. These are more examples that you can use to practice. If you want, you can pause the video in here to read them with more detail. That is everything for this lesson, guys. Thank you so much for paying attention. I hope you understand this part. Don't forget to continue practicing. Thank you so much. I'll see you the next one.